Hey guys, welcome to Anthony Reviews, where Anthony reviews, and I gotta open up some figures. These all came within like the span of a week, honestly, so I figured let's just do an unboxing. There's quite a bunch of stuff to go through. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of split up into parts. So we've got a couple like X-Men stuff that we're gonna unbox. Then we're gonna do the Figuarts, Gohan, and then we'll do the G.I. Joe stuff. So without further ado, let's just get into it. We're going to start with Toad. I don't know why, just we're going to start with Toad. He's got the retro style packaging that you can't really see. Let's maybe zoom out a bit. You know, it's like the old Toy Biz Marvel Legends packaging style. Wow, how incredible. And I have no idea the proper way to open this. I really don't. I just want the Toad figure, so I guess we'll just start tearing. Didn't even think about how this was like attached to the back. I could have torn that, but sorry. Like, it's Toad. Got the nice big like 20 years logo here. It's like hiding a base. Let's just start popping all this out, you know? He seems like a pretty happy guy, you gotta say, you know? Guess if you have a fear of frogs or toads, please look away. Don't watch during this part, because it's jump scares. Oh, again, because like a frog, jump scare. That's funny. And then we got this big, wacky tongue, of course, because, you know, it's Toad. Get it? Don't get slimed by Toad. And I guess that's everything, really. I mean, Toad is he's a team completer kind of character. You know, he's part of the Brotherhood, as seen. Wait, it's like this Toad ain't even on the cover of this. That Toad, I don't even remember. That's the Scarlet Witch. You can tell by her green outfit. So yeah. But he's got like this sort of like Renaissance fair, borderline jester outfit. He looks scary. You know, I think of Toad, I think of Ray Park, you know, the first X-Men movie. This is Toad, you know? This is fine. You know, he looks good. Nice detail. He's got a dirty face. He's got like some definition in the muscles and everything. Looks like he's got drop down hips, which is kind of unique for Marvel Legends. It's really weird. Yeah, like, I don't know. I just needed him because it's the Brotherhood and I need a Toad, and that's kind of it. He does come, as we saw, with the alternate pieces. We got different hands. We've got the tongue head. We've got these little toads and frogs and whatnot. And the backdrop piece of like a swamp, and then the cover bit on a display stand. It's cool. Like I mentioned, it's a callback to the Toy Biz Marvel Legends days, where that first wave was Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, and Toad. So it's weird, but if it's a way to get us a classic looking Toad, fine. Like I said, position filler. He's just there to be on the shelf because he's part of the Brotherhood. The dude was in the first X-Men movie. You gotta have him. Unless you're afraid of frogs and toads, I guess, then you don't need them. Moving on, though, let's get to a character that is just as relevant in a way. It is Morph from the X-Men cartoon from the 90s, as you can tell by this VHS-style packaging here. This is that Hasbro Pulse exclusive line where you have X-Men animated characters, they have cell shading, and they come in these nifty little boxes here. So it's funny to kind of go from the other box that we saw, which was a pure throwback to the 20 years ago packaging, and now we have more modern packaging, and it seems like the way packaging will go, which is windowless and plasticless and all sorts of stuff. You know, I see people sometimes say, like, oh, if it's plasticless, then what are you making the figures of? They mean plastic waste, okay? Like, if you think you're clever, talk about, oh, but the figures are made of plastic. They mean the stuff you're going to throw away. Are you going to buy this and throw away the figure? Probably not. You know, it's a very slim chance. So, this one's for you, Morph. Oh, there he is. A lot of people seem to have a problem with this, like, tissue paper thing going on. I don't really care. I don't want the figure. I really don't care about all this nonsense. If this will kill the planet slightly less, then by all means, let's do it. My God, look at that. Look at that butt. That is a defined butt. I mean, it's morph, so he can make his butt look however he wants, but like, that's a choice. Oh, I was mistaken. He comes with alternate hands as well. So here's Morph. I mean, he looks awesome. You know, he's in the sort of basic yellow and blue X-Men outfit with this leather jacket. He's got the bands that are now molded onto the figure and not separate bands like the Jim Lee Cyclops that we got back in 2017 or whenever that was. He looks great. I mean, this is awesome. I love it. I know it's got the cell shading and everything, which may not be everyone's favorite, but it's light, you know? Like, if he's on the shelf back here, you're not going to notice that much. I guess the boots are the most noticeable. But if you look on the Foosh, Robo from the Foosh did a nice little tutorial on how to remove some of that cell shading business off of the pecs and all the little details here. But honestly, like, you're not going to notice it too much, I don't think. Like, I mean, if you have them displayed like this, like, you can barely see it, but I get it. Some people may not like that, and I don't know if we'll ever get a regular Morph, because Morph was such an important character in the cartoon itself, not really so much the comics. So, like, if you're learning this version of Morph, the animated version will probably be your best bet. I don't know. I think it's worth getting just because he looks clean. He looks good. I'll probably maybe think about doing the removal of the shading bits, but in all honesty, I don't mind it too much. It's not as egregious as some of the other figures. But egregious, it's the point to have it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You know what I mean. And of course, just like Toad from earlier, here he is with some of the extra bits. He's got the evil head. He's got open hands. He's pretty cool. I really dig him. I like all the colors and everything. I think this look is rather neat. I don't know if I'll prefer the evil head or the normal head. I guess it depends on where he goes on the display. I guess if I had more of the Nasty Boys, speaking with my friend Kirk recently, and he was saying, like, if he had more Nasty Boys from Sinister's gang, maybe he'd think about doing the evil head. But for now, maybe just regular Morph. Who knows? He's coming for you. Any figure is a Morph figure when you think about it. All right, let's shift a bit into the world of Dragon Ball Z. Well, not really Z, it's Super. This is from Dragon Ball Super Hero, the new Dragon Ball film. This is the SH Figuarts Ultimate Gohan figure. I'm a big fan of Gohan. He's my favorite Dragon Ball character. I really like the journey that his character goes from a small, scared child, completely different from his father in every way, to the hero that we see him. And, you know, people can have gripes about him post-Cell and, you know, whether they not, Saiyaman, or where he ends up in Super, I'm thinking of, like, Resurrection F, all that stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this means nothing. But really, like, this character is great. Awesome. So, I really liked him in the new film, and he's got a new figure, so I figured I should probably jump on that while I can. So let's just get it open. Why is it so difficult? Pop that all off. So neat. Can we just go ahead and just get all the hands removed? Just get them out. You know what? Can we just? Oh, I wasn't expecting the entire figure to faceplant, but whatever. Let's. Is there a safe way to remove this? I don't really handle Figuarts very often, if I'm being honest, but let's just start tugging. Is that a... Okay, I got it off. He's sort of almost doing a T-pose, but I got it off. He looks stellar. Like, that's so cool looking. Like, Figuarts does such a good job, and they've really gotten better over the years, too, so it's cool to see these really nice interpretations of Toriyama artwork, essentially, brought into a three-dimensional plane and have it not look too weird. It comes with alternate faces, which I've always really liked about Figuarts stuff. The alternate face plates is a cool way to do without having to do a whole head. So I appreciate that as well. In the box, there was a little insert for other figures. So if you like Dragon Ball, there's more fun to come. This is not sponsored, I'm just saying it was in here, you know. It's always good to sort of read the instructions just to make sure you don't break your import figure. So this is how you do it. Here's Gohan without a face, just in case you were interested in seeing that. This is just Hair Man, I guess. The way you change the face is really interesting, because it's like the hair is in like two pieces, and you kind of have to like plug one into the other, and yeah. But I mean, you've got a nice sort of screaming head, so if you want like a sort of the power-up sort of expression, you can have it like that, which is neat. I mean, there's a lot of options with these highly articulated, you know, figures, which is cool. He's such a fun character to like fiddle around with. Like when you buy more expensive figures, you know, you don't expect them to be playable, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you buy a figure, you're like, oh, this is way too expensive, I'm just gonna sit it on the shelf and never mess with it. But you, like I said, the expressions, the articulation, like this guy just looks so cool. It's fun. It's good to have fun with figures, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this one, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not sure how many of my viewers are fans of Dragon Ball, whether you guys buy imports or whatever, but this is just a cool figure. I definitely recommend that you pick this up. He's a cool character. You get a lot with it. I think he's under 50 bucks right now. So if you see him, you find him in, I think they're available in places like Target and GameStop, and you can order it on Big Bad Toy Store. So once again, this is not sponsored by any means, but I think out of the figures I've opened so far, this is probably my favorite. Let's do some G.I. Joe. So if you're watching the channel, you know I'm a big fan of the Classified series, big fan of G.I. Joe in general, and one of my favorite, I guess, characters from the 80s cartoon would definitely be the Crimson Twins, Zaymot and Tomax. They're just goofy, you know? Like, I'm sure that there are comic interpretations and whatever else that depicts them as maybe more serious threats. But when you've got these, like, mirror twin characters that are businessmen, and they finish each other's sentences, and they feel each other's pain, you can punch one and the other one falls down. That is silly, that is goofy, and I love it. You know, like, that's some, like, Mad Max-looking outfits. Like, it's great. I love the look. Like I said, the mirror twins aspect of it all is very fun for me. And I guess this is, in case you don't know, because obviously sometimes I mess it up too. So Tomax, happy, no scar. Zaymot, mad, scar. You get that? Everybody got that? Yeah, let's open them up. We're just gonna start with Tomax arbitrarily. There's no real reason. I have no preference over either of them. They're the same thing. It doesn't really matter. Whenever there are people that watch that part and are like, that's not how I open mine, which is fine. You can open yours however you want, I guess. It's the beauty of toys, right? Is you can kind of do whatever you want. Your toys. It'd be different if I was like a collector of essential medicine. You know, like that. That's different. This is plastic. This does not matter. All right, we got Happy Boy Tomax. He's like, He's got that look about him, doesn't he? We're the Crimson Twins. Zaymot, your turn. Is it Zammot or Zaymot? Zammot probably makes more sense, but Zaymot sounds less like Tomax. I feel like it was Zaymot in the cartoon. Maybe I'm wrong. The same accessories, so no matter which one you get some knives and looks like a gun with a silencer and ammunition. So that's cool. You know, it's like when you have kids, right? It's like you have to get both the kids a present. That way one of them doesn't feel like left out. Did you ever have that? I had two younger brothers that are like close to the same age, so like a year and a half apart. And I feel like sometimes my parents treated them as if they were twins. They weren't twins, but like they were close enough that they always had like the same toys, so one of them wouldn't feel left out, that kind of thing. Sometimes they dressed the same too. That's neither here nor there. All right, here's Zamot, Angry Boy, Scarface. Yeah, he's a lot less like, and he's more like, I'm pissed about things. So, yeah, that's how they differentiate. One is pissed and one is not so pissed. You know, hey, I'm pissed. You know, like that. So but they're brothers. You can tell they are twins. I saw Dan Larson Toy Galaxy talk about how they were like a little gummy, and I do kind of feel that. Like, they're pretty sturdy, they're fine, but like you saw me there, like that's super kind of loose, and no, they feel okay. The elbows are pretty sturdy. Pinless, the new thing. Soon that's not going to be the new thing anymore. Like, every figure will be pinless, but you know, for now it's still new. They've got 2 spots for their 2 knives. If you haven't, like, you can't tell, like they're like mirrored. See, like one has the shoulder pad on one side, the sash, the logo, the knife placement. Like, if you got 2 of the same one, it would look strange, because then they would just be twins, and like twins that aren't a mirror. What? How can you tell that they're evil if they don't do like not only coordinated but like anti-coordinated outfits? That's just how twins work. Duh. Oh man, I was putting the gun in Tomax's hand. See, I'm gonna learn. No, I'm gonna learn which is which. And this elbow. Ooh, you hear that? Ooh boy, that is a stiff elbow. Other parts are gummy and other parts are stiff, so be careful. You might want to try some water in that. I guess if one of them is right-handed, the other one should be left-handed, right? I don't know. Like, do they? I don't know. Let's see. This hand does go up and down, so maybe Zaymot is supposed to be left-handed, right? Yeah, left. And then boom, look at that. The twins are here. They look good next to each other. You got their matching guns, their matching knives, matching outfits. They're ready for a night out on the town. They just need their guards and they'll be perfect. So yeah, fun addition. As I mentioned at the beginning of that, I really like how goofy and silly conceptually these guys are. Their deep blue and red and sort of silver outfits are really nice. So yeah, these guys are really silly, and I'm happy to have them for the collection. And moving over to the Joe side of things, we've got Stalker here, which is great. You know, Stalker is a very key character, in my opinion, for a G.I. Joe collection. He's involved in the Snake Eyes sort of Storm Shadow stories and that original mini series in the cartoon. I think, yeah, right. I'm pretty sure. So this is cool. Very happy to have Stalker. Let's get it open. It's a sticker. It's interesting. Oh goodness. Stuff's just falling out. It was his hat and his little scarf thing. This, yeah. Do you ever just like, sometimes when I'm taking this, like the tape off of like the accessories, I just sort of stick it wherever just to get it out of the way. Do you ever do that? You personally, I'm asking. Tell me down in the comments if you, when you're removing it, do you like, if it comes off completely, do you just like stick it somewhere else? It's important. You should let me know. He comes with a lot, I'll give him that. Like that's cool. Oh, I hate when there's like not a window to get your fingernail in and get this out. It's just good enough. Boom, Sergeant Stalker. Before there was Slaughter, there was Stalker, which is quite a name, you know? Like, ask your kid, like, what do you want for Christmas? Adrian? That's not an 80s name. What do you want for Christmas, Adrian? It's like, I want Sergeant Stalker. And it's like, what? You want a stalker here during the 1980s? Yeah, kind of a dangerous time. Did the mom and the son have the same voice? Wait a minute. You gotta have the beret on. Like, that's Stalker to me. You gotta have it on. The colors are interesting. They're a lot deeper in person. Like, this is kind of a it's a bit brighter than on camera. When in person, it's a lot more of a grayish green. So to each his own. You know, I don't mind it. I think I would have liked a greener Stalker, like kind of how you see it on here, but he's not this green in person. It's a bit more gray. And here, of course, is Stalker, sort of all decked out in his various accessories. He's got multiple weapons on him, of course. He's got this scarf thing that I described earlier. He's loaded, you know? He's ready for action. He's ready for anything. He's got a knife. He's got a handgun. Like, yeah, he's pretty cool. You know, I don't know if I'm going to have the scarf on him, but it's a nice detail to have if you kind of want to spruce up. You know, maybe it's a specific mission that he's going on. He's going to need it. That kind of thing. He looks cool. So pretty happy with how he turned out. And I think they're going to use this body for the upcoming retro Snake Eyes, which is awesome. So very excited for how that all turns out. But Stalker, wonderful addition. Super excited to have him on the Joe shelf. Last item for today, it's the Viper 3-pack. We got the Viper Officer and just the regular Cobra Vipers, so it's pretty cool. This, of course, is the beginning of their new packaging style. Like I sort of mentioned earlier, with more, we're going for a plasticless take on the G.I. Joe packaging. So you see the figures, you see what it all comes with. Comes with a lot. It's pretty cool. Get some nice, gorgeous artwork. Honestly, if you're asking me, I prefer the artwork over the 3D renders being on the cover. 3D renders just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't evoke anything exciting for me, but like really cool, unique artwork. I think this is awesome. The artwork has been a big part of the classified line from the start, and so to kind of put that front and center, it makes it like, look at this. This is so cool. You want to have this on your like bedroom walls as a kid. Like, this is awesome. So yeah, I dig it. Let's open it up. Okay, we're going from the top. Let's go from the top. Sure, a bunch of goodies are in here. It's kind of got like a map, you know, with the land masses. You know, it's like different mountains and whatnot. Do you ever remember that? Learn how to read a map where it's like this is like elevation. Yeah, cool. Ooh, there they are. Is it weird that like the gold is not in the middle? Like, I don't know, I feel like just stylistically it would look cooler if he was being flanked, but whatever. Okay, they're like all tied in the back here, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like open this in a pretty way. I may have to just like, yeah, I think I want to do this part off of camera because it's just, yeah, hold on. All right, well, here's two of the Vipers, just the regular Vipers here, which is pretty cool. Happy to have them out. And then here's the Officer in his special color scheme, which I'm actually not a huge fan of this color scheme, honestly, but it's good to have a different kind of officer on the shelf, I guess. So it's neat. I think, well, I know, because I have, what did I just get recently? The Ninjas, the Blue Ninjas. They came with, I have actually right here. They came with this, which was like a little, almost like a foot locker kind of thing, which had all the accessories in it. I guess this was designed before they had finalized that. So they don't get the foot locker. They just get like a bunch of, just a long thing. But there's all the accessories there. Nothing inside. Yeah, okay, because I know with the Blue Ninjas, they had like printing on the wrapping paper. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, I have to keep track of all. Look at that. It's a whole bunch of goodies. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I guess be super careful to make sure you don't miss any pieces, because that could be kind of easy to lose. But we've got like their goggles and little blasts effects and all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, this is something, yeah, like something like that. I don't know. Just smoke effects, you know, for the barrel of the gun. Like, a whole bunch of cool stuff. All right, let's get this. I'm pretty sure this is just like their, yeah, it's like their their backpacks, which is cool. Okay, well, at least it's easy to tell which one goes with which. So that's neat. So they did do a release of the Viper before. That was part of the Cobra Island set, which is like, we do not speak of Cobra Island. It's a big, you know, poorly sort of, I guess, I don't know. I think it was affected by the pandemic, really. It was kind of a situation they obviously wouldn't have wanted to be in, but mistakes were made. Got some guns. So if you missed out on those, you know, at least you get another chance at getting the Vipers. Because these are a little bit different. They're a bit of a darker tone. They also have some different skin tones as well. Like, see this guy? I believe he's got like a black skin tone. Yeah, so that's interesting, you know? Cobra, it's not a race thing with Cobra. It's just world domination. And anybody can want world domination. I'm sure that's you know, like what Cobra's like sign up thing. Join Cobra. It's not a race thing. A lot of guns. Yeah, this is an interesting kind of like system where like guns and swords are in like little cardboard to like hopefully keep them straight. Sometimes it works. I've seen some people get the blue ninjas, then it has like tape on the sword and accidentally takes off some of the paint. Not ideal. Here they are, all together. I think they look pretty cool. You know, I'm not sure if the Vipers are anyone's favorite army builder, but, you know, they are part of the Cobra army, so it's cool to have them. We've got some variation now. We've got the two from here that are sort of the darker shade of blue. Then you've got the Cobra Island, like lighter blue. You've got the officer. You can have a nice little battalion, which is neat. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's cool to have some variety. You know, you can do goggles on, goggles off. You've got a bunch of different weapons. I think these were the guns that came with the standard, like, Vipers, so you can kind of give these guys different guns. He's got, like, a specific pistol versus their pistols. There's a whole lot of customization to go across, and, of course, you have all these, like, neat little blast effects. So I like it. You know, it's not going to be for everyone, but if you missed out on the original Vipers, these should be a good way to get some more Vipers in your collection. And, you know, as a Cobra Commander fan, I like the chrome faces. I dig it. It's cool. So it's a fun little way to kind of build up those Vipers. I think I'm done now, but it's good to have them. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this little unboxing adventure. You know, it's sometimes the figures all come at once and it piles up, and I kind of thought, you know, and I kind of took a break there in September, not intentionally, but that's the way it works. And I figured this would be sort of a lighter, fun kind of video for you guys and for me to do. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I should have some different videos coming up. I have a review plan for whenever a certain figure comes in, and maybe something a little bit different too. So that's really it. I'm at Anthony Lantern on Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me there. Do you have a favorite of these? You know, are you picking any of these figures up? Are you a fan of any of these lines? Let me know down in the comments below. You know, I love to chat toys with you guys, and I really appreciate you guys' engagement here. Like, subscribe if you would, you know, feel so inclined to do. I would like that as well. I do have a podcast. You know, everyone's got a podcast, but I've got one with my friend Shades of Night, Kirk Beatty, called The Grund. If you check it out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it'll be available there. So that's really it. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and take care.